Ladies and gentlemen, today I invite you to consider a revolutionary idea. You have the power to be the luckiest person in the world. It is not by chance, not by circumstance, but by the mastery of your own mind and emotions. It serves as the wellspring from which all luck and fortune flow. It is the mental canvas where our desires take shape, allowing us to visualize the outcomes we wish to attract into our lives. Every great achievement, every fortunate event, and every success story begins as a thought, a flicker of creativity ignited within the mind. To understand the significance of imagination, we must first recognize that our thoughts are powerful forces that shape our reality. When we engage our imagination, we are not merely daydreaming, we are actively participating in the creation of our lives. Our subconscious mind cannot differentiate between reality and vividly imagined scenarios. This means that the more we visualize our desires, the more we send a clear message to the universe about what we wish to manifest. By conjuring images of our dreams, we are laying the groundwork for them to materialize in the physical world. Imagine yourself in a situation where you feel lucky and abundant. Picture the details, the sounds, the sights, and the emotions that accompany this experience. Feel the joy of receiving unexpected gifts, the thrill of serendipitous encounters, and the satisfaction of achieving your goals. By immersing yourself in these vivid mental images, you awaken a sense of possibility that can attract similar experiences into your life. It is not limited to envisioning positive outcomes. It can also reveal the limiting beliefs and fears that hinder our progress. As we visualize our desires, we may encounter negative thoughts or doubts that arise. This is an essential part of the process, as it allows us to confront and challenge these beliefs. By transforming our inner dialogue and reshaping our perceptions, we create space for luck and opportunity to flourish. The key is to persist in your imaginative exercises, making them a daily practice. Just as an athlete trains their body for peak performance, we must train our minds to visualize success and abundance consistently. This mental discipline strengthens our belief in our ability to attract luck and reinforces our identity as fortunate individuals. The magic of imagination lies in its ability to create a new reality. When we commit to the practice of envisioning our dreams and feelings of gratitude, we align ourselves with the frequency of abundance. Luck is not a random occurrence, but a result of our inner state. By fostering a rich inner world filled with positivity and possibility, we open ourselves to the extraordinary opportunities that life has to offer. As we cultivate our imagination, we become the architects of our destinies, shaping our lives according to our deepest desires. The journey toward becoming the luckiest person in the world begins within, where imagination reigns supreme. Embrace this power and watch as your world transforms into a reflection of your innermost dreams. Feeling is the secret that unlocks the door to manifesting our desires and attracting abundance into our lives. While thoughts and beliefs lay the groundwork for what we wish to achieve, it is our emotions that infuse those thoughts with life, energy, and power. The universe responds to the vibrations we emit, and those vibrations are dictated primarily by how we feel. If we want to change our circumstances, we must first change our emotional state. At the heart of this concept lies the understanding that our feelings create a resonance with the universe. When we feel joyful, grateful, and optimistic, we send out signals that align us with similar experiences. Conversely, if we dwell in negativity, fear, or doubt, we attract outcomes that reflect those emotions. This principle underscores the idea that our emotional state serves as a magnet for our experiences. To harness the power of feeling, we must begin by cultivating awareness of our emotional landscape. This involves paying attention to our feelings and recognizing how they correlate with our thoughts. Are we nurturing a sense of lack or abundance? Are we focused on what we desire or on what we fear? By consciously shifting our emotional state toward positivity, we create a fertile ground for our desires to flourish. One effective method for cultivating positive feelings is through visualization. By vividly imagining our desired outcomes and allowing ourselves to feel the emotions associated with those outcomes, we create a powerful energetic shift. For instance, if we envision ourselves achieving a goal, we should immerse ourselves in the feelings of joy, pride, and fulfillment that accompany that success. This practice bridges the gap between our current reality and the reality we wish to manifest. Gratitude plays a crucial role in amplifying positive feelings. When we express gratitude for what we already have, we raise our vibrational frequency and attract more blessings into our lives. Gratitude shifts our focus from scarcity to abundance, allowing us to recognize the myriad of opportunities and advantages surrounding us. It is a powerful catalyst for transforming our emotional state, making it easier to align with our desires. It's essential to remember that feelings can be fleeting, and negative emotions may still arise from time to time. The key is not to suppress or deny these feelings, but to acknowledge them and gently guide ourselves back to a more empowering emotional state. This requires patience, self-compassion, and consistent practice. Understanding that feeling is the secret empowers us to take control of our destinies. By consciously choosing to cultivate positive emotions, we can align ourselves with the abundance we seek. Our feelings shape our experiences and draw us closer to the reality we desire. The journey to becoming the luckiest person in the world starts with recognizing the profound impact of our emotional state and embracing the transformative power it holds. Living in the end is a transformative principle that invites us to embrace the mindset of having already achieved our desires. It involves fully immersing ourselves in the feeling and experience of our wishes fulfilled, rather than merely hoping or waiting for them to manifest. By adopting this perspective, we align our thoughts, emotions, and actions with the reality we wish to create, effectively bridging the gap between our current circumstances and our desired outcomes. To live in the end, we must first cultivate a clear and vivid vision of our goals. This means not only identifying what we want, but also understanding how it feels to have it. For instance, if your desire is to attain a specific job, envision yourself in that role. Picture the environment, the people around you, and the satisfaction you derive from your work. Immerse yourself in the emotions associated with success, pride, joy, and a sense of accomplishment. By embodying these feelings, you create a powerful energetic vibration that aligns with your aspirations. The concept of living in the end requires a shift in focus. Instead of fixating on the obstacles and challenges that may stand in your way, concentrate on the end result. This means trusting in your ability to achieve your desires and believing that they are already on their way to you. When you consistently operate from this mindset, you begin to attract opportunities and circumstances that reflect this belief. The universe responds to the energy you emit, and by living as though your desires are already fulfilled, you create a magnetic pull toward those experiences. It is essential to understand that living in the end does not imply ignoring the present moment or denying your current reality. Rather, it involves a conscious choice to embrace the feelings and thoughts associated with your desired outcomes while navigating your present circumstances. This dual awareness allows you to remain grounded while simultaneously elevating your vibrational state. Practicing gratitude also plays a crucial role in this process. By expressing appreciation for what you already have and for the future you envision, you enhance your alignment with abundance. Gratitude creates a positive feedback loop, reinforcing the belief that you are deserving of your desires and that they are within reach. Living in the end fosters resilience in the face of challenges. When you encounter setbacks, you can remind yourself of the feelings and experiences you are working toward, allowing you to navigate difficulties with greater ease. This practice builds faith in your vision, encouraging you to persist despite external appearances. Living in the end empowers you to become an active participant in shaping your reality. By embodying the feelings of your fulfilled desires and focusing on the end result, you align yourself with the abundant life you seek. This powerful mindset not only transforms your inner world, but also attracts the opportunities and circumstances that will lead you to your dreams. Embrace this practice and watch as your life unfolds in alignment with your deepest aspirations. Assuming the state of luck is a powerful practice that involves embracing the mindset and emotional state of a lucky person. It requires us to consciously adopt the thoughts, beliefs, and behaviors of individuals who consistently experience good fortune. By embodying this mindset, we align ourselves with the energy of abundance and attract positive experiences into our lives. The first step in this process is to recognize that luck is not a random occurrence, it is a state of mind. Those who are considered lucky often approach life with a sense of optimism and confidence. They believe that good things will come their way, and this belief shapes their reality. To assume the state of luck, we must begin by shifting our own perceptions. Instead of viewing ourselves as victims of circumstance or believing that we are unlucky, we need to cultivate a mindset of possibility and abundance. One effective way to embody this state is through visualization. Picture yourself as the embodiment of luck. See yourself surrounded by opportunities, joy, and positive outcomes. Visualize how a lucky person would think and behave in various situations. How do they respond to challenges? How do they celebrate their successes? By immersing yourself in these mental images, you begin to reprogram your subconscious mind, creating new neural pathways that support a more optimistic outlook. Another key aspect of assuming the state of luck is adopting a proactive attitude. Lucky individuals tend to take bold actions, seizing opportunities that come their way. They do not wait for luck to find them. Instead, they actively create their own luck by stepping out of their comfort zones. By engaging in new experiences, networking, and pursuing interests that resonate with you, you increase the likelihood of serendipitous encounters and fortunate outcomes. Gratitude also plays a significant role in cultivating this state. When we express gratitude for the blessings in our lives, we raise our vibrational frequency and attract more positive experiences. Acknowledging the abundance we already have reinforces our belief in our luckiness. Each time you experience a small win or serendipity, take a moment to celebrate and appreciate it. This practice creates a positive feedback loop that reinforces your identity as a lucky person. Furthermore, surrounding yourself with lucky individuals can enhance your own sense of luck. The energy and mindset of those around us can influence our beliefs and behaviors. Engage with people who inspire and uplift you, who have a positive outlook on life and are open to new possibilities. Their energy can help reinforce your own assumption of luckiness. Assuming the state of luck is about cultivating a mindset that attracts positive experiences and opportunities. It requires consistent practice and a willingness to let go of limiting beliefs. By embracing the identity of a lucky person through visualization, proactive behavior, gratitude, and surrounding ourselves with positivity, we open the door to a world of abundance. As we embody this state of luck, we become magnets for fortunate outcomes, transforming our lives in ways we once deemed impossible. Persisting in the assumption is a vital principle that emphasizes the importance of maintaining unwavering belief in our desires, even when external circumstances seem to contradict our hopes. This practice is rooted in the understanding that our inner convictions shape our reality. When we persist in the assumption of having already achieved our goals, we align ourselves with the frequency of our desires, ultimately attracting them into our lives. To begin, it's essential to recognize that the journey of manifestation often involves a gap between what we desire and our current reality. This gap can sometimes lead to frustration, doubt, and disappointment. However, it is precisely during these moments of uncertainty that the power of persistence becomes crucial. Instead of succumbing to the temptation to give up or to entertain negative thoughts, we must strengthen our resolve and continue to assume that our desires are already fulfilled. One effective way to cultivate this persistence is through daily affirmations and visualization practices. By consistently affirming our beliefs and visualizing our desired outcomes, we reinforce our commitment to the assumption that our wishes are already realized. Imagine how it feels to achieve your goal. Immerse yourself in the emotions of joy, gratitude, and satisfaction associated with that success. This emotional engagement strengthens your belief and keeps you aligned with your desires. It's important to remember that the outer world often reflects our inner state. When we encounter obstacles or setbacks, they can serve as tests of our belief. In these challenging moments, it's essential to hold steadfast to our assumptions. Rather than allowing doubt to creep in, remind yourself that persistence is key. Just as seeds take time to germinate before they sprout, so too do our desires require patience and faith to manifest. Another vital aspect of persisting in the assumption is cultivating a mindset of gratitude. By expressing gratitude for what we already have and for the future we envision, we enhance our alignment with abundance. Gratitude shifts our focus from lack to appreciation, creating a positive feedback loop that reinforces our belief in the realization of our desires. This practice helps us remain grounded in our assumptions, even when faced with external challenges. Surrounding ourselves with supportive individuals can significantly bolster our ability to persist in our assumptions. Engage with people who uplift and inspire you, who believe in your dreams and encourage you to stay the course. Their positive energy can help reinforce your own commitment to your goals, making it easier to navigate the ups and downs of the manifestation process. Persisting in the assumption is about embracing the power of belief. It requires courage, patience, and unwavering faith in our ability to create our desired reality. By consistently affirming our intentions, visualizing our success, practicing gratitude, and surrounding ourselves with positivity, we cultivate a strong foundation for manifestation. The universe responds to the energy we emit, and by holding firmly to our assumptions, we attract the experiences and opportunities that align with our deepest desires. As we persist in this journey, we unlock the doors to the abundant life we seek, transforming our dreams into reality. Gratitude serves as a powerful magnet for attracting more luck and abundance into our lives. It is an energetic practice that shifts our focus from scarcity and lack to appreciation and abundance. When we cultivate an attitude of gratitude, we open ourselves to receive even more blessings, creating a positive feedback loop that enhances our overall experience of life. At its core, gratitude is about recognizing and acknowledging the goodness that already exists in our lives. It invites us to appreciate the small joys, the lessons learned from challenges, and the support we receive from others. This shift in perspective is crucial because it changes our emotional state and consequently the vibrations we emit into the universe. When we feel grateful, we resonate at a higher frequency, attracting similar positive experiences. To harness the power of gratitude as a magnet for luck, it is essential to make it a daily practice. This can take many forms, such as keeping a gratitude journal, where you write down things you are thankful for each day. Reflecting on both big and small blessings fosters a sense of abundance and positivity. This practice not only helps you notice the good in your life, but also trains your mind to seek out and appreciate those moments more readily. To journaling, expressing gratitude verbally can amplify its effects. Take a moment to thank those around you, friends, family, or colleagues for their support and contributions. Sharing your appreciation not only enhances your relationships, but also creates a ripple effect, encouraging others to adopt a similar mindset. When you express gratitude, you reinforce your own positive feelings while also uplifting those around you. Practicing gratitude in challenging situations can be transformative. Instead of focusing on what went wrong, try to find the lessons and silver linings. This perspective shift allows you to maintain a positive outlook and keeps you aligned with the energy of abundance. For example, if you experience a setback, instead of dwelling on the negative aspects, consider what you can learn from the experience and how it might lead you to greater opportunities in the future. Another significant aspect of gratitude is its ability to enhance resilience. When faced with adversity, a grateful mindset helps you navigate difficulties with a sense of hope and optimism. By focusing on what you are thankful for, you create a buffer against negative emotions and maintain a more balanced perspective. Gratitude is a powerful tool for manifesting luck and abundance. By fostering an attitude of appreciation, you align yourself with the energy of what you desire. As you express gratitude for the blessings in your life, you signal to the universe that you are open to receiving more. This magnetic effect attracts opportunities, serendipitous encounters, and positive experiences. In embracing gratitude as a daily practice, you cultivate a mindset that not only enhances your perception of life, but also creates an inviting space for luck to flourish. As you recognize and celebrate the abundance already present in your life, you become a beacon for even greater blessings to come your way. Embrace gratitude and watch as the universe responds by showering you with more luck than you ever thought possible. In conclusion, becoming the luckiest person in the world is not a matter of chance, but a deliberate practice rooted in our mindset and emotional state. By harnessing the power of imagination, embodying positive feelings, living in the end, assuming the state of luck, persisting in our assumptions, and embracing gratitude, we create a vibrant energy that attracts abundance and opportunity into our lives. Each of these principles reinforces the idea that we have the power to shape our reality through our thoughts and beliefs. As we integrate these practices into our daily lives, we align ourselves with the frequency of our desires, drawing forth the luck and fortune we seek. Remember, the journey to a life filled with luck and abundance begins within. Thank you for being here today and for exploring these transformative principles with me. May you each embrace your innate ability to create your own luck and manifest the life of your dreams. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, today we delve into a profound truth that holds the key to shaping our lives. What you focus on, you attract. This simple yet powerful statement contains within it the secret to manifesting the life you desire. Your focus, your attention, and your thoughts are the driving forces behind the reality you experience. Imagination is one of the most powerful tools we possess, yet its true potential is often overlooked. Many see imagination as merely a tool for creativity or a form of escapism, but in reality it is much more than that. Imagination is the foundation upon which our lives are built. It is the creative force that shapes our reality, and what we imagine in the mind is ultimately what we experience in the world. Everything we experience in life, every situation, relationship, and circumstance begins first as a thought or image in the mind. When we imagine something, we are not just daydreaming, we are planting the seeds for future reality. But the mind is incredibly receptive to the images we create, and it does not distinguish between what is real and what is imagined. The more vivid and consistent our thoughts, the more likely they are to manifest in the world around us. The mind, in its infinite capacity, takes the images we dwell upon and works tirelessly to bring them into form. This is the essence of creative power. What we focus on, we create. Imagination is not passive. It requires conscious direction and intent. To harness the full power of imagination, we must actively choose what we wish to imagine. If left unchecked, the mind will gravitate towards thoughts and images based on past experiences, fears, or limiting beliefs. These unconscious imaginings can create patterns of negativity or limitation in our lives. Therefore, it is vital to become aware of the images we hold in our minds and make a deliberate effort to cultivate the visions we truly desire. When we do this, imagination becomes a tool for transformation, allowing us to reshape our lives from the inside out. Imagination also allows us to transcend the limitations of our current circumstances. Often we feel bound by the conditions of our external world, by the things we see, hear, or experience. But imagination enables us to move beyond these limitations. Through the power of imagination, we can mentally step into any situation or state of being we desire. We can imagine ourselves as healthier, wealthier, happier, or more successful, regardless of our current reality. This mental shift is crucial because our minds and bodies respond to the images we hold. When we imagine something consistently, we begin to align our thoughts, emotions, and actions with that vision. This alignment creates the conditions for change and growth. One of the most remarkable aspects of imagination is its ability to influence not just our inner world, but also the external world. When we hold a clear and consistent vision of what we desire, we begin to attract the circumstances, people, and opportunities that resonate with that vision. This is not simply wishful thinking, it is the law of attraction in action. The energy we emit through our thoughts and emotions draws similar energy into our lives. By imagining the life we want to live, we set in motion a powerful creative process that pulls our desires into physical form. Imagination is the precursor to all creation. It is the invisible force that shapes our experiences and the world around us. When used consciously and with intention, it becomes a tool of immense power, enabling us to create a life that reflects our deepest desires and aspirations. By embracing the power of imagination, we step into the role of the creator, shaping our reality with every thought, vision, and mental picture we hold. Living in the feeling of the wish fulfilled is a transformative concept that goes beyond mere positive thinking or hope. It is about fully embracing the emotions and mental state of already having what you desire, even before it manifests in your external reality. This principle suggests that by aligning your inner state with the reality you seek, you attract that very reality into your life. It is a deeply personal and emotional process, rooted in the understanding that your inner world, your thoughts, feelings, and beliefs are the true creators of your external experiences. When you live in the feeling of the wish fulfilled, you are no longer yearning or waiting for your desires to come to pass. Instead, you embody the emotional and mental state of already having received what you want. This means immersing yourself in the joy, satisfaction, and peace that would naturally arise if your wish were already a reality. It is an act of faith and conviction, where you trust so deeply in the inevitability of your desired outcome that you allow yourself to feel the emotions of success and fulfillment right now. This process requires a shift in mindset. Often we approach our desires from a place of lack or longing. We focus on the absence of what we want, and this creates a vibration of need or scarcity. However, when we live in the feeling of the wish fulfilled, we shift from lack to abundance. We begin to feel as though we already have everything we desire, and this emotional state attracts more of what we want into our lives. The key here is the power of emotions. The universe responds to our emotions as much as, if not more than, our thoughts. When we consistently feel the emotions associated with our fulfilled desires, we create a magnetic pull that draws those desires into our reality. Living in the feeling of the wish fulfilled also helps to reprogram our subconscious mind. The subconscious mind is the driver of most of our behaviors and experiences, and it responds to the emotions and images we hold consistently. By feeling as if our wishes are already fulfilled, we impress these emotions and images onto the subconscious, which then works to align our external world with our inner state. This is why it's crucial to not just think about your desires, but to truly feel them, as if they are already present in your life. Another important aspect of this practice is detachment. When you live in the feeling of the wish fulfilled, you are not obsessing over when or how your desire will manifest. You are not checking every moment to see if things are happening. Instead, you trust that the fulfillment of your wish is certain, and you allow it to unfold in its own time and way. This detachment does not mean indifference, it means surrendering the need to control the outcome and trusting in the natural flow of life. The more you embody the feeling of having already achieved your desire, the less you will feel the need to force things to happen, and ironically, this is when things tend to manifest with greater ease. Living in the feeling of the wish fulfilled is about aligning with the reality you want on an emotional and energetic level. It requires faith, imagination, and persistence, but once mastered, it can lead to profound changes in your life. By consciously cultivating the emotions of already having what you desire, you set in motion the powerful forces of the universe, bringing your wishes from the realm of imagination into the realm of experience. The idea that consciousness creates reality is a profound and transformative principle that suggests our thoughts, beliefs, and perceptions shape the world around us. This concept implies that the external world is not something that happens to us independently, but rather it is a reflection of our inner state of mind. Everything we experience in life, whether it be success, failure, happiness, or struggle, originates in the mind. The reality we encounter on a daily basis is a manifestation of the consciousness we carry within. At its core, Consciousness refers to our awareness, our thoughts, emotions, and beliefs. It encompasses how we see the world and, most importantly, how we see ourselves. This internal perspective governs our actions, our responses to situations, and the energy we project into the world. If we believe in scarcity, for instance, we will likely experience lack in our lives. On the other hand, if we hold a consciousness of abundance, opportunities and resources seem to flow to us more easily. Our perception and mindset act as a filter, influencing how we interpret and interact with the events in our lives. One of the key principles behind the idea that consciousness creates reality is that our thoughts are not passive. Every thought we think has a vibration, an energy that radiates outward and interacts with the world. When we dwell on positive, uplifting thoughts, we attract experiences and circumstances that resonate with that energy. Similarly, when we focus on negativity, fear, or doubt, we draw more of the same into our lives. This process is often referred to as the law of attraction, which states that like attracts like. The energy we emit through our consciousness acts as a magnet, pulling in experiences, people, and situations that align with our inner state. Consciousness is more than just surface-level thoughts. It encompasses our deep-seated beliefs and emotions. These often operate at a subconscious level, and they have a powerful impact on the reality we create. For example, someone may consciously desire success, but hold a subconscious belief that they are unworthy of it. This hidden belief will sabotage their efforts, creating obstacles or failures that reflect the inner conviction of unworthiness. Thus, the work of changing reality must begin with changing the underlying beliefs and emotions that shape our consciousness. The relationship between consciousness and reality also suggests that we have far more control over our lives than we often realize. We are not passive recipients of fate, but active creators of our experiences. By becoming aware of the thoughts and beliefs that dominate our consciousness, we can begin to reshape our reality. It is a process of taking responsibility for our inner world and understanding that the outer world is merely a mirror reflecting what we hold within. When we shift our consciousness by changing our thoughts, cultivating empowering beliefs, and aligning with positive emotions, our external circumstances will begin to reflect that change. Moreover, this principle highlights the importance of mindfulness and deliberate intention. Since our consciousness is constantly creating our reality, it is vital to be aware of where our thoughts and emotions are directed. If we allow ourselves to dwell in fear, anger, or doubt, we will attract experiences that reinforce those emotions. But when we consciously choose to focus on gratitude, joy, and possibility, we open ourselves to a reality that mirrors those higher states of being. Consciousness is the creative force that shapes the reality we experience. Our thoughts, beliefs, and emotions are the building blocks of our external world, and by shifting our internal state, we can transform our life circumstances. This concept reminds us that we are not victims of the world, but powerful creators who can design the life we desire through the conscious cultivation of our inner world. When we take responsibility for our consciousness, we unlock the potential to create a reality that reflects our highest aspirations and desires. Persistence in thought is a key principle in shaping one's reality and achieving desires. It refers to the unwavering focus and repetition of a particular idea or belief in the mind, held consistently over time. This practice of maintaining a steady mental image or goal is what separates fleeting wishes from true manifestations. Thoughts, like seeds, need time, attention, and care to take root and grow. Persistence in thought is the process by which we nurture these seeds, ensuring that they eventually bloom into the reality we seek. The mind is constantly bombarded with information, distractions, and conflicting thoughts. Without persistence, it's easy to lose sight of our desires and get sidetracked by doubt, fear, or external circumstances. However, when we persistently focus on a specific thought or outcome, we create a mental environment that allows our desires to flourish. This continuous focus sends a clear signal to the subconscious mind and the universe about what we truly want, and over time, it aligns our experiences to reflect that focus. It's important to understand that thoughts are not isolated, they carry energy. When a thought is repeated with conviction, it gains momentum and power. The more you think about something, the more energy it gathers, and the more likely it is to manifest in your life. Persistence in thought amplifies this process. It's not enough to merely wish for something once or twice, it must become a dominant force in your mind. Whether the thought is about health, success, love, or any other desire, it must be nurtured regularly, much like how a plant needs water and sunlight to grow. Persistence in thought is not simply about obsessing over a desire. It's about holding a steady belief in the realization of that desire, regardless of temporary setbacks or the appearance of contrary circumstances. Often people give up too soon when they don't see immediate results. They let doubt creep in, and that doubt dilutes the power of their thoughts. But the key to persistence is faith, believing that what you desire is already on its way, even if the evidence isn't visible yet. This faith fuels the persistence necessary to see your thoughts through to fruition. Another important aspect of persistence in thought is consistency. It's easy to think about a goal or desire once in a while, but real transformation happens when it becomes a consistent part of your mental landscape. This requires discipline and commitment. Persistent thoughts shape our beliefs, and our beliefs in turn influence our actions. The more we dwell on a specific thought, the more it becomes ingrained in our consciousness, eventually becoming a core belief. Once a belief takes root, it starts to govern our behavior, decisions, and the outcomes we experience in life. Persistence in thought also helps overcome obstacles and challenges. When we are steadfast in our focus, even in the face of difficulties, we begin to see solutions rather than problems. Persistent thought empowers us to navigate challenges with resilience, because we remain aligned with our ultimate goal. It strengthens our ability to stay on course, even when external conditions appear unfavorable. This unwavering focus gives us the strength to continue moving forward until the desired outcome is realized. Persistence in thought is the engine that drives manifestation. It ensures that our desires don't fade away into the background, but remain active forces in shaping our reality. The universe responds to clarity and consistency, and by holding a persistent thought, we make it clear that we are committed to the outcome. This continuous focus not only alters our subconscious mind, but also influences the external forces at play, bringing about the circumstances, people, and opportunities that align with our persistent vision. Persistence in thought is about keeping your mind steady and focused on what you want, no matter how long it takes or what challenges arise. By holding on to your desires with unwavering faith and determination, you set the stage for their eventual manifestation. The idea that assumption as truth plays a pivotal role in shaping our reality is a concept that underscores the power of belief. It suggests that whatever we assume to be true, regardless of external evidence, becomes our lived experience. Our assumptions act as the foundation of our consciousness, and since consciousness creates reality, these assumptions have the ability to shape the world around us. This means that the beliefs we hold about ourselves, others, and life at large manifest into our reality because they determine our thoughts, actions, and perceptions. When we assume something to be true, we are not merely entertaining a fleeting thought. Assumption is a deeply ingrained belief that we accept as a given, whether we are conscious of it or not. For example, if you assume that you are capable of achieving success, you will act with confidence and take actions that align with that belief. On the other hand, if you assume that success is out of reach or that life is filled with obstacles, your actions and mindset will reflect that, leading to experiences that reinforce failure or difficulty. The world tends to mirror back to us what we believe, not necessarily what is objectively true. This principle can be seen in everyday life. Consider how different people react to the same situation. One person might assume that a challenge is an opportunity for growth, while another might assume that it is a setback that will hinder progress. These two individuals will experience vastly different outcomes, not because of the external circumstances themselves, but because of the assumptions they hold about those circumstances. The first person will likely take proactive steps to overcome the challenge and grow from it, while the second person may succumb to frustration or give up altogether. Their assumptions shape their perceptions and ultimately their reality. The power of assumption as truth lies in its ability to override even the most resistant external conditions. If you consistently assume that your desires are already fulfilled, you begin to align your thoughts, emotions, and actions with that assumption. This alignment creates the conditions for manifestation. The key to this process is unwavering faith in your assumption, regardless of what current reality might suggest. When you assume that something is already true, your mind starts to operate from the belief that the desired outcome is not a future possibility, but a present fact. Assumptions are powerful because they tap into the subconscious mind, which does not question or analyze. The subconscious mind accepts what we impress upon it and works to bring those assumptions into reality. This is why, for many, changing external circumstances begins with changing internal assumptions. If you assume wealth, love, or happiness is yours, and hold to that assumption with conviction, you will naturally gravitate toward experiences and behaviors that support that belief. Your subconscious mind, acting on the assumption, influences the way you perceive opportunities and interactions, guiding you toward the fulfillment of your assumption. Assuming your desires are already fulfilled creates a mental and emotional state that corresponds with the experience of having what you want. By maintaining that assumption, you begin to attract circumstances that reflect it. For instance, if you assume that you are loved and worthy of love, your actions, body language, and choices will begin to reflect that self-worth. As a result, others are more likely to treat you with love and respect, further reinforcing your assumption. On the contrary, if we hold negative assumptions believing we are not good enough, worthy, or capable, our lives will reflect these limitations. These self-imposed restrictions confine us to a smaller version of reality, one where we are less than our true potential. The power of assumption works both ways, which is why it is crucial to be conscious of what beliefs we are holding. Assumption as truth is a powerful creative force. By consciously choosing our assumptions and living as though they are already true, we shift our consciousness to align with the reality we desire. This principle demonstrates that we are not passive observers in life, but active creators of our experience. Whatever we assume, whether consciously or unconsciously, becomes the truth of our reality. Therefore, mastering our assumptions is the key to mastering our lives. So, the law of attention is a fundamental principle that emphasizes the power and impact of where we direct our focus. It suggests that whatever we give our attention to, we feed with energy, and in doing so, we amplify its presence in our lives. Whether we focus on our goals, fears, or everyday experiences, the energy we devote to these areas shapes our reality. Attention is a powerful tool because it acts as a bridge between our inner world and the outer world. And by consciously directing it, we have the ability to influence what manifests in our lives. Attention is not just a passive act of noticing, it is an active force. When we give attention to something, we are investing emotional and mental energy into it. This energy grows and gathers momentum, much like a snowball rolling down a hill, collecting mass as it moves. If we continually focus on negative experiences, we unintentionally magnify their significance. Conversely, if we direct our attention toward positive desires and solutions, we nurture their development, making them more likely to manifest. The things we focus on become the dominant features of our reality because our attention gives them life. One key aspect of the law of attention is the idea that attention is a limited resource. We cannot give equal focus to everything at once, therefore, what we choose to focus on is critical. Our attention is like a spotlight in the vast theater of life. By shining it on specific areas, we illuminate them, bringing them into sharper focus, while other areas remain in the shadows. For instance, if we choose to focus on gratitude, we begin to notice more things to be thankful for. If we dwell on problems, they tend to grow larger in our perception. The law works regardless of whether our focus is positive or negative, it magnifies whatever it is directed toward. This principle underscores the importance of conscious focus. Many people go through life allowing their attention to be dictated by external circumstances, distractions, or worries. In doing so, they give away their creative power, becoming reactive to whatever is happening around them. However, when we consciously choose where to place our attention, we take control of the creative process. We decide what is worthy of our energy and what is not. This deliberate focus allows us to shape our lives according to our desires rather than being at the mercy of circumstances. Another important facet of the law of attention is its connection to the subconscious mind. Whatever we consistently focus on becomes imprinted on the subconscious, which then works behind the scenes to bring that focus into our reality. This is why repetitive thoughts or concerns seem to manifest more readily. They become embedded in the subconscious and influence our behavior, decisions, and perception. By directing attention to positive outcomes or goals, we program the subconscious to work in alignment with those desires, setting in motion the forces needed to bring them into being. The law of attention also teaches us to be mindful of distractions. In a world filled with endless sources of entertainment, news, and information, our attention is constantly being pulled in different directions. This can dilute our focus and scatter our energy, making it difficult to create meaningful change or progress. To harness the power of attention, we must guard it carefully, ensuring that it is directed toward the things that matter most to us. This requires discipline, self-awareness, and the ability to prioritize what we truly want to cultivate in our lives. The law of attention reveals that our focus is the key to our creative power. What we pay attention to grows, and what we ignore diminishes. By mastering the art of focus, we can intentionally shape our reality. This principle invites us to become more deliberate with our thoughts, emotions, and energy, recognizing that every moment of attention is an investment in the future we are creating. It reminds us that we are not passive observers of life, but active participants who, through the focus of our attention, can mold our experiences and bring our deepest desires to fruition. In conclusion, the key to shaping our reality lies in understanding and applying these powerful principles. What we focus on, we attract. Imagination fuels creation. Persistence in thought leads to manifestation. Assumption becomes truth. And the law of attention magnifies what we give our energy to. By mastering our thoughts, beliefs, and where we direct our attention, we unlock our creative potential to design the life we truly desire. Remember, we are not passive observers, but active creators of our reality. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, life doesn't come with an instruction manual. Most of us stumble through it, learning lessons the hard way, often too late. Today I want to share with you 12 brutal life lessons, truths that are rarely spoken of, but once understood, can reshape your entire existence. Life, as we experience it, is not the product of random chance or external forces beyond our control, though we often feel as if it is. Instead, our reality is shaped by something far more intimate and powerful: our own minds. You are the architect of your own reality, and this realization is perhaps one of the most empowering truths you can ever embrace. It means that what you perceive as the world out there is a reflection of what resides in here: your thoughts, beliefs, assumptions, and inner conversations. From a young age, we are taught that life happens to us, that circumstances and events outside of ourselves determine our success, happiness, or failure. We're conditioned to believe that we are at the mercy of forces beyond our control, whether they be other people, societal systems, or luck. But this belief undermines the inherent power we hold. The world is not some indifferent stage on which we are forced to play our parts. It is a mirror, constantly reflecting back to us the contents of our own consciousness. Every experience you encounter is influenced by your mental state, often without you even realizing it. If you believe that life is difficult, filled with obstacles and challenges, you will inevitably encounter situations that reinforce this belief. Similarly, if you assume that people are untrustworthy or that success is only for a lucky few, your experiences will confirm this. But when you shift your beliefs, when you truly internalize the notion that life is abundant, that opportunities are everywhere, and that you are worthy of success, the world responds in kind. This concept is not new. Philosophers, mystics, and teachers throughout history have alluded to it in various forms. What distinguishes those who thrive in life from those who struggle is not the absence of hardship or challenges, but the way they perceive and respond to these situations. The power of perception cannot be overstated. When you recognize that your thoughts shape your reality, you begin to take responsibility for what you think, feel, and believe. Taking responsibility is not about blame. It's not about chastising yourself for the situations you don't like or for the challenges you face. Rather, it's about empowerment. It's the realization that, while you may not be able to control every single event in your life, you can control how you interpret these events and, more importantly, how you let them shape your beliefs moving forward. Your interpretations, beliefs, and assumptions act as the blueprint for your reality. Think of your mind as a powerful projector, constantly casting the images of your thoughts onto the canvas of your life. If your inner world is filled with fear, doubt, and negativity, these are the images that will project outward, manifesting as difficult circumstances and unfulfilled desires. On the other hand, if you fill your mind with thoughts of possibility, hope, and confidence, your life will begin to reflect these attributes. There's a profound liberation in realizing that you can consciously design your life by controlling your thoughts. This doesn't mean that you will never face adversity. Life is full of unpredictable events, but it does mean that how you react to these events is entirely within your control. When you approach life as its architect, you cease to be a passive participant. You begin to see every situation as an opportunity to reaffirm your beliefs and to reshape your reality according to your desires. The process of becoming the architect of your own reality requires a deep conscious awareness of your inner world. It means becoming attuned to your thoughts, noticing the assumptions you carry, and identifying the limiting beliefs that may be holding you back. This is not always an easy process. Many of our beliefs are deeply ingrained, often formed in childhood and reinforced by years of habit. But once you become aware of them, you gain the power to change them. The first step in this process is to recognize that your current reality is not set in stone. It is malleable, fluid, and constantly evolving in response to your consciousness. Your reality is not determined by external conditions, but by your internal state. When you believe this wholeheartedly, you begin to see evidence of it everywhere. Coincidences, opportunities, and synchronicities that seem like chance events are, in fact, reflections of your mental and emotional state. You are the creator of your world, whether you are aware of it or not. Life is not happening to you, it is responding to you. As the architect of your own reality, you hold the key to unlocking the life you desire. It begins with the simple yet profound act of changing your thoughts, which will, in turn, transform your world. The power of assumption is one of the most transformative forces in our lives, yet it remains vastly underestimated by many. Assumptions are the silent architects of our reality. They are the beliefs and ideas we accept as true, often without conscious awareness. These assumptions, whether positive or negative, shape the way we see the world, interact with others, and most importantly, how we experience life. Understanding and harnessing the power of assumption can unlock a reality far more aligned with our deepest desires and aspirations. At its core, an assumption is a belief about the world, ourselves, or others that we take for granted. It's the mental stance we adopt before we take any action. What most people don't realize is that these assumptions are constantly shaping our experiences. If you assume that life is hard and full of struggle, your actions and behaviors will align with that belief. You'll find yourself attracting situations and people that reflect that assumption back to you. On the other hand, if you assume that life is abundant, that success comes easily to you, and that opportunities are always available, you will encounter circumstances that confirm this belief. Assumptions are incredibly powerful because they operate on a subconscious level. They form the foundation of our reality, determining how we interpret and respond to external events. Every assumption we hold acts like a lens through which we view the world, and it colors every experience we have. If you assume that people are generally kind and trustworthy, you will encounter more kindness and trustworthiness in your interactions. But if you assume that people are out to get you or that the world is a harsh place, you'll constantly find evidence to support those beliefs. The magic of assumption lies in its ability to manifest itself into reality. What you assume to be true, whether consciously or unconsciously, shapes your thoughts, feelings, and actions. These, in turn, affect the outcomes you experience in life. It's as though your assumptions serve as a blueprint for your reality. The more you focus on a particular assumption, the more your subconscious mind works to bring that assumption to life. One of the reasons assumptions are so powerful is that they bypass the critical, logical mind. While logic might argue against your dreams or tell you that your goals are unrealistic, assumptions operate in a different realm. They don't require evidence to exist, they only require belief. And once you hold an assumption firmly enough, it begins to gather evidence for itself. The outer world rearranges itself to fit the inner belief, making the assumption seem like an undeniable truth. This concept may seem abstract, but its effects are highly tangible. Consider someone who assumes they are unlucky. They believe that things rarely go their way, and that they are destined for misfortune. As a result, they approach life with hesitation, expecting disappointment. In doing so, they unconsciously make choices that lead to undesirable outcomes, which then reinforce their belief in being unlucky. It's a self-fulfilling prophecy. The assumption creates the conditions for its own fulfillment. Now, imagine the opposite. Picture a person who assumes they are fortunate, that luck is always on their side. Even in challenging situations, they expect positive outcomes. This mindset leads them to approach life with confidence, openness, and resilience. They see opportunities where others see obstacles. Their assumption of being lucky influences their actions, which in turn creates favorable outcomes, further reinforcing the belief in their own luck. The beauty of the power of assumption is that it works regardless of whether your assumption is positive or negative. The key, then, is to become aware of the assumptions you hold and to consciously choose those that align with the reality you wish to create. If you assume success, health, happiness, and abundance, these will naturally follow, because your thoughts, feelings, and actions will align with these beliefs. Changing your assumptions requires conscious effort. Many of our core assumptions were formed early in life, often as a result of our environment, upbringing, or past experiences. However, they can be altered through deliberate practice. The first step is to identify the assumptions that are shaping your current reality. Pay attention to your internal dialogue and notice the beliefs you hold about yourself and the world around you. Are they assumptions of limitation, lack, or fear? Or are they assumptions of possibility, abundance, and joy? Once you've identified your assumptions, you can begin to replace them with new ones. This process isn't about ignoring reality or engaging in wishful thinking. It's about choosing to believe in a reality that supports your desires and then acting in alignment with that belief. For example, if you desire success, start assuming that success is your natural state. Hold this assumption firmly, regardless of what your current circumstances may show. Over time, your actions will align with this new belief, and your external world will begin to reflect it. The power of assumption is not limited to individual outcomes. It extends to all areas of life: relationships, career, health, and personal growth. By choosing assumptions that support your highest aspirations, you unlock the ability to create a life that is not dictated by external circumstances, but shaped by your inner beliefs. The world, in many ways, is a mirror. It reflects back what we assume to be true. When you master the art of assumption, you master the art of life. Your self-concept is the foundation of everything you experience in life. It is the collection of beliefs, perceptions, and assumptions you hold about yourself, your identity, capabilities, worth, and the roles you play in the world. This internal image dictates how you interact with life, what you think you deserve, and ultimately what you attract into your reality. Whether you are aware of it or not, your self-concept influences every aspect of your existence, from your relationships to your career, health, and personal fulfillment. At the heart of self-concept lies the idea that your outer world is a direct reflection of your inner world. You cannot experience anything outside of what you believe to be true about yourself. If you think of yourself as confident, competent, and worthy of success, you will naturally move through the world in a way that aligns with those qualities. Conversely, if your self-concept is filled with doubt, insecurity, and feelings of unworthiness, those beliefs will shape the opportunities, people, and experiences you encounter. Most of us are unaware of the self-concept we carry. These beliefs often form early in life, influenced by our upbringing, past experiences, and the opinions of others. Over time, we internalize these perceptions, and they become the filters through which we view ourselves and the world. Without realizing it, we reinforce these beliefs through our thoughts and actions. For example, someone with a self-concept of being unlucky might consistently find themselves in situations where things don't go their way. This person doesn't recognize that their belief in being unlucky is actively shaping their experiences. They might attribute their difficulties to external circumstances, never realizing that it's their self-concept driving the results. What's crucial to understand is that the self-concept is not fixed. It is malleable and can be transformed through conscious effort and self-awareness. The first step in changing your self-concept is to become aware of the beliefs you hold about yourself. Take a close look at the patterns in your life. What do they reveal about your internal self-image? Are there recurring themes of struggle, rejection, or failure? Or do you consistently experience success, joy, and fulfillment? These patterns are clues that point directly to the assumptions you carry about yourself. Once you have identified your self-concept, the next step is to challenge and redefine it. If you realize that you see yourself as someone who is always struggling or unworthy of love, ask yourself where these beliefs come from. Are they based on past experiences that you've carried into the present? Do they reflect the opinions of others rather than your true potential? The key to transformation lies in questioning the validity of these beliefs and recognizing that they are not objective truths. They are simply stories you've been telling yourself, stories that can be rewritten. To change your self-concept, you must consciously adopt new beliefs about yourself. This requires consistent mental discipline and the willingness to see yourself in a new light. Begin by imagining the version of yourself who already embodies the qualities you desire. What would this version of you believe about yourself? How would you think, feel, and act if you were already confident, successful, and deserving of love and abundance? Hold these images in your mind and practice stepping into that identity, even if it feels unfamiliar at first. It's important to understand that your self-concept will dictate how others treat you and what opportunities come your way. If you believe yourself to be worthy of respect and success, you will naturally set boundaries that reflect this belief, and you will attract people and situations that mirror your self-worth. On the other hand, if you hold a self-concept rooted in inadequacy or fear, you may find yourself in relationships where you are undervalued or in jobs that don't reflect your true potential. The world outside of you is always responding to the world inside of you. Self-concept also determines what you are willing to strive for and achieve. If you see yourself as capable of great things, you will naturally pursue your goals with confidence and resilience. Obstacles will be viewed as temporary challenges rather than insurmountable barriers. However, if your self-concept includes doubt and fear, you may give up easily or fail to even try, thinking that success is beyond your reach. What's more, your self-concept influences not only your actions but your expectations. When you expect good things, you are more open to opportunities, and your mindset becomes attuned to recognizing and seizing them. If you expect failure or disappointment, your focus will naturally shift toward potential pitfalls, and you will inadvertently manifest the very outcomes you fear. The power of self-concept cannot be overstated. It is the silent force driving every decision, every action, and every experience in your life. The good news is that you have the power to shape it. By becoming aware of your self-concept, questioning its validity, and intentionally adopting a new, more empowering view of yourself, you can change the course of your life. You are not defined by your past or by others' perceptions of you. You are defined by the vision you hold of yourself, and that vision can be as expansive and limitless as you allow it to be. Detachment is often misunderstood as indifference, but the two are profoundly different. Indifference implies a lack of care, concern, or emotional investment, while detachment is a position of inner strength and clarity. It's about maintaining a healthy distance from the emotional turmoil that often comes with desires, outcomes, and circumstances. True detachment is not about giving up or being apathetic. It's about mastering the art of letting go while still being fully engaged in life. Detachment is the ability to pursue your desires, dreams, and goals without being emotionally tied to the results. It means releasing the need for control over how things unfold and trusting that life will respond in the best possible way. When we become too attached to a specific outcome, we often create anxiety, fear, and resistance within ourselves. This attachment to results can cloud our judgment, make us reactive, and lead to unnecessary stress. In contrast, detachment allows us to move through life with ease, knowing that we can take inspired action, but that the outcome is not entirely in our hands. One of the core principles of detachment is recognizing that external events do not define your inner state. Often people tie their happiness, success, or self-worth to specific outcomes. They believe that they will only be happy if they get the job, the relationship, the promotion, or whatever goal they're striving toward. This mindset creates dependency on external validation and circumstances, which are inherently unpredictable and out of one's complete control. By practicing detachment, you shift your focus away from relying on these external markers for happiness and instead cultivate a deep sense of inner peace and contentment, regardless of what happens in the outer world. Detachment is powerful because it allows you to act from a place of calm, clear intention rather than desperation or fear. When you're attached to a specific outcome, you often act out of neediness or a sense of lack, which can cloud your decisions and lead to poor choices. On the other hand, when you are detached, your actions come from a place of confidence and abundance. You no longer need things to happen in a certain way to feel good about yourself or your life. This freedom empowers you to approach situations with clarity, knowing that regardless of the outcome, you will remain centered and whole. This doesn't mean that you stop caring or striving for your goals. In fact, detachment can make you more effective in achieving what you want. When you are not overly attached, you are more open to new possibilities and creative solutions. You can see opportunities that you might have missed if you were fixated on one specific outcome. Detachment fosters flexibility and adaptability, which are essential qualities for navigating life's uncertainties. Instead of forcing things to go your way, you become attuned to the natural flow of events and can adjust your course as needed. Detachment also leads to a deeper trust in life. When you're detached, you acknowledge that, while you can control your actions, you cannot always control the results. There's a certain surrender involved, a recognition that there are forces at play beyond your immediate understanding or control. This surrender is not a weakness but a strength. It's an acknowledgement of the bigger picture. Trusting that everything will unfold as it should, in its own time, frees you from the stress of constantly trying to manipulate circumstances. Detachment is equally important. Often people become overly attached to how they want others to behave, seeking to control or change them to fit their expectations. This leads to frustration and disappointment when the other person doesn't conform to these expectations. Detachment in this context means accepting others as they are and releasing the need for them to meet all of your desires. It doesn't mean you don't care about the relationship. It means you are not emotionally dependent on the other person's actions to validate your own self-worth or happiness. This kind of emotional independence creates healthier, more balanced relationships, as both parties are free to be themselves without the pressure of meeting unrealistic expectations. Detachment is not the absence of desire, but the absence of suffering due to attachment. It's the difference between wanting something and needing something to feel complete. You can want success, love, and happiness, but when you are detached, you recognize that your sense of self is not tied to whether or not you achieve those things. You remain whole, regardless of external circumstances. Detachment is about finding power in the present moment. Instead of living in the future, obsessing over potential outcomes, or dwelling on past failures, detachment brings you back to the now. It allows you to enjoy the process of life without being consumed by the destination. In this way, detachment is an empowering practice, freeing you from the chains of expectation and allowing you to engage with life more fully, with a sense of freedom, trust, and inner peace. The world we experience with our senses, the physical, tangible reality, is only a fraction of the larger picture. Beneath the surface of what we see, hear, and touch lies an unseen reality that profoundly shapes our lived experience. This unseen reality is composed of thoughts, emotions, beliefs, and energy. It is the realm of the mind and spirit, and it plays a pivotal role in creating the physical circumstances of our lives. Although it often goes unnoticed, it is the invisible forces that give rise to everything we encounter in the external world. Everything we observe in the physical world was once a product of thought. Before any building, invention, or relationship existed, it began as an idea, a concept within someone's mind. Thoughts, though intangible, are the seeds from which all material things grow. The chair you sit in, the smartphone you use, the relationships you value all originated from the unseen realm of thought. What this suggests is that the unseen reality is not some abstract, disconnected domain, but rather the source from which the visible world is born. Our thoughts and beliefs act like blueprints that shape the form and structure of our lives. Whether we are conscious of it or not, our inner world is constantly influencing the outer. When we hold a particular belief, it becomes a lens through which we perceive the world, and the world then responds to us based on that belief. If you believe, for instance, that the world is full of opportunities, you will begin to notice chances for growth, success, and fulfillment everywhere. Conversely, if you believe that life is difficult and opportunities are scarce, you will likely encounter obstacles and struggle. It's not that the world itself changes, but your perception of it, and thus your experience of it, shifts based on the unseen reality of your beliefs. Our emotions, too, play a powerful role in shaping the seen world. Emotions are energy in motion, and they broadcast signals that impact our reality. When we feel joy, gratitude, or love, we emit a frequency that draws similar experiences into our lives. This is why, when you're in a good mood, everything seems to flow more easily. People respond to you more positively, opportunities seem to appear effortlessly, and challenges feel less daunting. On the other hand, when you're consumed by anger, fear, or sadness, the world around you can feel hostile, uncooperative, and heavy. The emotions you hold within you are mirrored by the external world, creating a feedback loop between the seen and unseen realms. One of the most significant ways the unseen shapes the seen is through our beliefs about ourselves. Self-concept, or the way we view ourselves, influences every aspect of our lives. If you see yourself as capable, deserving, and resilient, your actions and decisions will reflect that. You will naturally gravitate toward opportunities that align with your sense of worth and ability. If, however, you hold limiting beliefs about yourself, believing you're unworthy or incapable, those beliefs will manifest as self-sabotage, procrastination, or a reluctance to pursue your goals. The unseen beliefs you carry shape the visible outcomes in your career, relationships, and personal growth. It's important to note that the unseen reality is not just a passive influence, it's an active force that you can consciously harness to shape the world around you. By becoming aware of your thoughts, emotions, and beliefs, you can begin to intentionally direct your life toward the outcomes you desire. This process requires a shift in focus from the external to the internal. Rather than being solely concerned with what's happening outside of you, you begin to cultivate awareness of what's happening within. This inward focus allows you to change your internal state, your thoughts, emotions, and assumptions, so that your outer world begins to reflect your inner intentions. For example, if you desire more abundance in your life, it's not enough to simply work harder or chase more external opportunities. You must first align your inner world with the experience of abundance. This means shifting from a mindset of scarcity, or lack to one of gratitude and trust. When you truly believe in the possibility of abundance, and when you feel grateful for what you already have, the world responds by offering more of the same. The unseen realm of thoughts and emotions begins to shape the seen realm of circumstances and experiences. The same principle applies to relationships. If you seek more love or connection in your life, you must first embody those qualities within yourself. If you hold on to resentment, fear, or insecurity, those unseen energies will manifest as distance, conflict, or dissatisfaction in your relationships. However, when you cultivate love, kindness, and openness within, your relationships will naturally reflect those qualities back to you. The world around you, particularly in your connections with others, is a mirror of the unseen dynamics within you. In a broader sense, the unseen reality connects us to the deeper forces of the universe, the energies of creation, intention, and purpose. We are not separate from the larger fabric of existence, we are part of it, and our thoughts, beliefs, and emotions ripple out into the world, shaping reality in ways we may not always perceive. The more attuned we become to this unseen reality, the more we can consciously participate in the co-creation of our lives. We begin to see that we are not passive observers of reality, but active participants in its formation. The unseen reality shapes the seen in profound and powerful ways. Our thoughts, emotions, and beliefs are the invisible forces that give rise to the physical world we experience. By understanding this connection, we gain the ability to shape our lives from the inside out, transforming our inner landscape so that it reflects the outer world we wish to create. Failure is often perceived as a permanent setback, a sign that we are incapable or unworthy of success. However, this perception is rooted in a misunderstanding of what failure truly represents. In reality, failure is not a final destination, nor is it a reflection of our value or potential. Rather, it is an illusion and opportunity for growth, learning, and progress. Failure is not the end of the road, but a necessary part of the journey towards success. When we shift our perspective, we see failure for what it really is: feedback. Viewing failure as feedback allows us to detach from the emotional weight it carries. Instead of seeing it as a personal shortcoming, we begin to recognize it as information, valuable data that can guide us toward better decisions and more effective actions. Each failure provides clues about what didn't work, what could be improved, and what adjustments need to be made. In this way, failure becomes a stepping stone towards success rather than a barrier to it. One of the reasons failure feels so daunting is because society often teaches us that success is a straight path, and that any deviation from that path is a sign of incompetence. We are conditioned to fear failure, to avoid it at all costs, and to see it as something shameful. But the truth is, success is rarely achieved without a series of missteps along the way. In fact, many of the world's most successful people attribute their achievements to the lessons learned through failure. They understand that failure is not a reflection of their worth, but a necessary part of refining their approach. When you fail, it simply means that the current strategy or method you employed did not produce the desired result. It doesn't mean that you are incapable of achieving success, nor does it mean that the goal is unattainable. Failure provides you with feedback about what isn't working, and it invites you to make adjustments and try again with more insight and experience. In this way, failure is not a sign that you should give up, but an indication that you are getting closer to discovering what will work. Thomas Edison, one of the greatest inventors in history, famously stated, "I have not failed. I've just found 10,000 ways that won't work." His perspective embodies the essence of seeing failure as feedback. For Edison, each failed attempt to create the light bulb was not a reason to quit, but an opportunity to gather more information about the process. Each failure brought him one step closer to success. His persistence and ability to view failure as a teacher eventually led to one of the most transformative inventions in human history. This mindset shift is critical in all areas of life, not just in career or innovation. In relationships, for example, many people experience what they perceive as failure, a breakup, a conflict, or unmet expectations. But rather than viewing these moments as indications that the relationship was a mistake or that they are unworthy of love, they can choose to see them as feedback. What can be learned from the experience? What communication patterns need to be improved? How can boundaries be better established? By approaching the situation as feedback, there is room for growth, healing, and the possibility of forming healthier connections in the future. In personal development, failure often arises when we set goals for ourselves and fall short of meeting them. Whether it's a missed deadline, a broken habit, or an incomplete project, the temptation is to label the effort a failure and abandon the pursuit altogether. But failure in this context is just feedback. It's a signal that the approach may need to be adjusted, or that more time, effort, or resources are required. By analyzing the feedback, we can identify what went wrong and make necessary changes, rather than viewing the setback as a reason to give up. A critical component of seeing failure as feedback is the willingness to detach from the fear of making mistakes. Many people are so afraid of failing that they never take the risks necessary to pursue their dreams or goals. This fear of failure stems from the belief that making a mistake somehow diminishes their worth or potential. But when we recognize that failure is simply part of the process, the fear loses its power. Mistakes are not something to be feared, they are part of the learning curve, a natural consequence of trying something new, and they are essential for growth. In conclusion, life's most profound lessons often come from what we perceive as failure, setbacks, or struggles. However, by shifting our perspective, we can see that failure is not an endpoint, but valuable feedback, guiding us toward growth and success. Our thoughts, beliefs, and self-concept shape our reality, and by embracing detachment, we gain the power to navigate life with trust and resilience. We are the architects of our own experiences, and with the right mindset, anything is possible. Thank you for your time, and remember, failure is just the beginning of learning. Ladies and gentlemen, discipline is not merely about rigid routines or forced effort. It begins in the most powerful realm you possess, your imagination. Every action, every habit, and every external manifestation in your life first took form in your mind. The disciplined person is not someone who imposes external control over their actions, but someone who has mastered their inner world, where all transformation truly begins. This is where the magic of imagination comes into play. Now, imagination is the starting point of all creation. For everything that exists in your life, whether success or failure, progress or stagnation, was first imagined. To build discipline, you must start by crafting a clear mental picture of the person you wish to become. See yourself as disciplined, organized, and focused in your mind's eye. This image is not just an idle fantasy, but the blueprint for what will soon take shape in your reality. As you consistently hold this image, you'll find that your thoughts, behaviors, and habits begin to align with it. The world around you responds to the inner picture you hold of yourself. Your current level of discipline is simply a reflection of the inner story you've been telling yourself. If you've been imagining yourself as inconsistent, unfocused, or lacking willpower, then your actions will mirror that. But when you shift that inner dialogue and begin to imagine yourself as someone who takes their commitments seriously, follows through on their goals, and remains steadfast in their efforts, the external changes will follow. It is not passive, it is active and intentional. This is the key to transforming your life. The undisciplined person allows their imagination to run wild with doubts, fears, and distractions. But the disciplined individual harnesses their imagination to focus on a clear, constructive vision of their future self. The power to change your habits, your actions, and ultimately your life lies within this inner space. The disciplined person is one who takes control of this creative faculty, directing it toward the life they wish to manifest. Once you recognize that imagination precedes reality, discipline becomes less about rigid control and more about creative alignment. You are no longer battling against yourself, but working with the natural laws of the universe. You are constantly creating, whether you are aware of it or not, and your imagination is the first tool in that process. By consciously directing your imagination toward the version of yourself who possesses discipline, you are shaping the future in real time. The disciplined life you seek begins in the invisible, creative space of your own mind. Shape it carefully, and the physical world will follow. To truly build discipline, it is essential to embrace the principle of assuming the feeling of the wish fulfilled. This concept emphasizes the necessity of feeling as if you have already achieved your desired state. When you embody the essence of your goals, you unlock a powerful mechanism that drives change in your life. The emotional state you cultivate acts as a catalyst, propelling you toward the disciplined habits and behaviors necessary for manifesting your desires. Imagine for a moment that you are already the disciplined person you aspire to be. What would that feel like? Would it bring you a sense of confidence, peace, or accomplishment? By vividly experiencing these feelings in your mind, you create a connection between your current self and the ideal version of you. This alignment is critical because emotions are the fuel that powers your thoughts into reality. When you assume the feeling of the wish fulfilled, you send a clear message to your subconscious that this new reality is not only possible, but is already yours. One of the most transformative aspects of this practice is its ability to bypass the limitations of the rational mind. Often we allow doubts, fears, and past failures to cloud our judgment and distort our self-image. By immersing yourself in the feeling of having already achieved your goals, you disrupt this cycle of negativity. Your subconscious begins to accept the idea that discipline is a natural part of who you are. This is not merely positive thinking, it is a deep-seated belief that alters your perception of yourself and your capabilities. To effectively practice this principle, set aside time each day to visualize your goals as already fulfilled. Create a mental movie where you see yourself exhibiting the qualities of discipline. Engage all your senses. What do you see, hear, and feel in this scenario? The more vivid and detailed your visualization, the stronger the emotional response it will evoke. As you become immersed in this experience, your brain begins to recognize this feeling as your new reality. Furthermore, cultivating the feeling of the wish fulfilled enables you to make decisions aligned with your disciplined self. When challenges arise, you will find that you are more equipped to respond in a manner that reflects your aspirations. Instead of reverting to old habits, you will instinctively gravitate toward choices that support your vision. This alignment between thought and feeling creates a powerful feedback loop, reinforcing your discipline and solidifying your progress. Assuming the feeling of the wish fulfilled is not a one-time exercise, but an ongoing practice. Consistently returning to this state of being fortifies your commitment to discipline. As you nurture this emotional connection to your goals, you will discover that discipline becomes less of a struggle and more of a natural expression of who you are. In this way, you not only imagine your future, you embody it. Faith in your inner power is a transformative principle that serves as the cornerstone for building discipline in your life. This faith is not merely a vague hope or a fleeting wish. It is a deep-rooted belief in your inherent ability to shape your reality. When you acknowledge and trust in the power that lies within you, you unleash the potential to create lasting change and cultivate the discipline necessary to achieve your goals. At the core of this belief is the understanding that you are not a passive participant in your life, but an active creator. Every thought you entertain and every belief you hold shapes your experiences. When you have faith in your inner power, you recognize that you possess the capacity to influence outcomes through your mindset and actions. This realization empowers you to take responsibility for your life and reinforces your commitment to discipline. One of the greatest obstacles to cultivating discipline is self-doubt. When you doubt your capabilities, you inadvertently limit your potential and reinforce negative patterns. However, by fostering faith in your inner power, you begin to dismantle those barriers. You must remind yourself that you have faced challenges before and overcome them. Each experience has equipped you with the resilience and skills needed to forge ahead. Trust in your ability to navigate obstacles and make decisions that align with your goals. Faith in your inner power also fosters a sense of confidence that is crucial for disciplined living. When you believe in yourself, you become less susceptible to distractions and external influences. Your decisions are guided by a clear understanding of what you want to achieve, and you are less likely to waver in the face of challenges. This unwavering commitment allows you to cultivate habits that support your vision, reinforcing your discipline over time. To strengthen this faith, it is essential to engage in practices that affirm your inner strength. Daily affirmations, visualization exercises, and meditation can help you connect with your true self and reinforce the belief in your capabilities. As you consistently remind yourself of your power, you begin to shift your self-perception from one of limitation to one of possibility. Surrounding yourself with positive influences, people who inspire and uplift, you can significantly bolster your faith. Seek out those who embody the discipline you wish to cultivate and learn from their experiences. Their stories can serve as powerful reminders that discipline is achievable and that you too can tap into your inner power. Having faith in your inner power is about recognizing that the key to discipline lies within you. As you nurture this belief, you will find that the barriers to your goals begin to dissolve. You will approach challenges with renewed vigor and an unshakable commitment to your vision. With each step you take, you will solidify your discipline, transforming it into an intrinsic part of who you are. The more you trust in your power, the more you will be capable of creating the life you desire. Persistence is a vital aspect of building discipline, and the journey to cultivating this quality requires consistent effort over time. The essence of persistence lies in the unwavering commitment to your goals, even in the face of challenges, setbacks, or temptations to abandon your path. When you choose to persist, you are essentially choosing to create new habits, behaviors, and thought patterns that eventually become second nature. The process of building discipline is not instantaneous. It requires time and a conscious effort to integrate new practices into your daily life. Initially, these practices may feel foreign or uncomfortable as they challenge your existing habits. However, with repeated application and commitment, what once felt difficult or forced gradually transforms into a natural part of your routine. This transition from effort to ease is where the power of persistence truly shines. To make persistence effective, it is essential to establish clear and realistic goals. Identify what discipline means for you, whether it's adhering to a specific routine, committing to a healthy lifestyle, or staying focused on a long-term project. Break down these goals into manageable steps that can be tackled incrementally. This approach allows you to celebrate small victories along the way, reinforcing your motivation to continue. When challenges arise, which they inevitably will, it's crucial to maintain your focus and remind yourself of the ultimate vision you are striving for. Embrace the understanding that discomfort is a natural part of growth. Each time you encounter a setback, view it not as a failure but as an opportunity for learning and adaptation. This mindset shift fosters resilience, allowing you to bounce back stronger and more determined. Pursuit of discipline, consistency is key. Engage in your chosen practices daily, even when motivation wanes. The more you commit to showing up, the more you reinforce the neural pathways associated with those habits. Over time, this repetition creates familiarity, and the actions you once had to force yourself to undertake become ingrained in your daily life. Visualization can also play a crucial role in this process. Picture yourself embodying the disciplined person you aspire to be. Visualize the actions, behaviors, and emotions associated with that version of yourself. By regularly immersing yourself in this mental imagery, you help solidify the idea that discipline is an integral part of your identity. Furthermore, surround yourself with a supportive environment. Engage with individuals who inspire discipline and share similar goals. Their encouragement and shared experiences can help bolster your resolve during moments of doubt. The journey of persistence is about understanding that discipline is not an innate trait, but a cultivated skill. By committing to your goals, facing challenges head-on, and consistently practicing your desired behaviors, you will find that discipline transforms from a conscious effort into a natural expression of who you are. With each step forward, you reinforce the foundation of discipline in your life, creating a path toward lasting fulfillment and achievement. Controlling your attention is a fundamental skill in the pursuit of discipline, and personal growth. In a world filled with distractions, be it social media, endless notifications, or the demands of everyday life, mastering the ability to focus your attention is crucial. Your attention is your most valuable resource. Where it goes, your energy follows. Therefore, harnessing this power can significantly influence your ability to cultivate discipline and achieve your goals. To begin, it's essential to recognize that attention is a choice. Every moment you have the power to decide what you focus on. This realization is empowering because it places the responsibility for your actions and outcomes squarely in your hands. When you consciously choose where to direct your attention, you reclaim control over your life. This control is vital for building discipline, as it enables you to prioritize what truly matters and align your actions with your aspirations. The first step in controlling your attention is to establish clear goals. When you know what you want to achieve, you can more easily discern distractions from your path. Write down your objectives and break them into manageable tasks. This clarity not only helps you stay focused but also makes it easier to identify when your attention begins to wander. Another critical aspect of managing your attention is creating an environment conducive to focus. Your surroundings significantly impact your ability to concentrate. Identify and eliminate distractions in your workspace or living area. This might mean turning off notifications on your devices, designating specific times to check emails, or creating a dedicated space for work and reflection. A clutter-free and distraction-free environment fosters a mindset conducive to discipline. Practice mindfulness techniques to enhance your attention control. Mindfulness meditation can train your mind to become more aware of wandering thoughts and distractions. By regularly engaging in mindfulness exercises, you develop the ability to observe your thoughts without judgment, allowing you to redirect your focus back to your chosen tasks. This practice strengthens your attention muscles, making it easier to maintain concentration over time. To mindfulness, utilize techniques such as the Pomodoro technique, which involves working in focused bursts followed by short breaks. This method not only enhances productivity, but also helps condition your mind to maintain attention for sustained periods. By structuring your work sessions, you create a rhythm that encourages focus and discipline. Accountability is another powerful tool in controlling your attention. Share your goals with someone who can help keep you accountable. This could be a friend, mentor, or coach who checks in on your progress and encourages you to stay focused on your priorities. Their support can serve as a powerful motivator, making it easier to resist distractions. Controlling your attention is a practice that requires consistency and dedication. By consciously directing your focus toward what truly matters, you lay the groundwork for a disciplined life. As you refine this skill, you'll find that your ability to maintain attention on your goals strengthens, and the distractions that once held power over you diminish. In this way, you not only cultivate discipline, but also empower yourself to create the life you desire. Gratitude for the process is a transformative mindset that can significantly enhance your journey toward building discipline. It involves recognizing and appreciating each step along the way, rather than solely fixating on the end goal. This practice fosters a positive attitude that not only keeps you motivated, but also helps you embrace the challenges and lessons that arise during your pursuit of discipline. When you cultivate gratitude for the process, you shift your focus from what you lack or what has yet to be achieved to the progress you are making in the present moment. This shift in perspective is crucial because it fosters a sense of contentment and fulfillment that can often be overlooked in the hustle to achieve goals. Rather than viewing discipline as a burdensome requirement, you come to see it as an integral part of a journey filled with growth and learning. One of the most powerful aspects of gratitude is its ability to reframe challenges as opportunities. Every obstacle you encounter is an invitation to develop resilience, creativity, and problem-solving skills. When you express gratitude for these experiences, you begin to view them not as setbacks but as essential components of your growth. This mindset shift allows you to remain focused and determined, even when faced with difficulties. Embracing the process with gratitude transforms obstacles into stepping stones toward your goals. You can cultivate gratitude for the process through various techniques. One effective method is to maintain a daily gratitude journal. Each day, take a moment to write down 3 things you are grateful for, particularly those related to your journey toward discipline. This could include recognizing the effort you put into developing new habits, appreciating the lessons learned from setbacks, or acknowledging the support of friends and family. By documenting these experiences, you reinforce a positive mindset that celebrates your progress. Mindfulness practices can enhance your appreciation for the process. Engage in meditation or reflective practices that allow you to connect with your inner self. During these moments, focus on the progress you have made, the lessons you have learned, and the strengths you have developed along the way. This conscious acknowledgement of your journey fosters a deep sense of gratitude, which can motivate you to keep pushing forward. Surrounding yourself with a supportive community can also amplify your gratitude for the process. Engage with individuals who share similar goals and values. Their encouragement and shared experiences can serve as powerful reminders of the importance of celebrating every step of the journey. By fostering an environment of mutual support, you create a culture of gratitude that reinforces your commitment to discipline. Cultivating gratitude for the process is about embracing the entire journey, not just the destination. It enables you to appreciate the small victories, learn from challenges, and grow as an individual. As you nurture this mindset, you will find that discipline becomes a more enjoyable and fulfilling aspect of your life. By recognizing and valuing the process, you empower yourself to achieve your goals with resilience, joy, and unwavering determination. In this way, gratitude not only enhances your journey toward discipline, but also enriches your overall experience of life. In conclusion, building discipline is a journey that encompasses various principles, each playing a vital role in shaping our character and guiding us toward our goals. From understanding that imagination precedes reality to embracing the feeling of the wish fulfilled, cultivating faith in our inner power, persisting until our efforts become second nature, controlling our attention, and expressing gratitude for the process, each aspect reinforces the foundation of discipline in our lives. As we navigate this journey, it is essential to remember that discipline is not merely a set of actions or habits. It is a reflection of our mindset and belief in our ability to create the lives we desire. By consistently applying these principles, we not only enhance our capacity for discipline, but also transform our overall experience of life into one filled with purpose, resilience, and joy. Thank you for your time and attention. May you all embark on your journey with the knowledge and commitment to build the discipline necessary to achieve your dreams.